Hello. Um, at the bottom of this picture, you see the founders of Women's Sport International. It's Celia Breckenridge from UK, Libby Darlison from Australia, Barbara Drinkwater from USA, myself from Norway, and Marion Lay from Canada. Women's Sport International was founded in 1994 to meet the challenge of ensuring that sport and physical activity receive the attention and priority they deserved in the lives of girls and women, and to meet the need for an international umbrella organizations that could bring about positive change for girls and women. WSI was formed in the recognition of global growth in the participation by women in sport and physical recreation, shared problems facing women in sport across many different cultures, persistent inequalities between men's and women's sport despite several decades of struggle for parity, failure of existing organizational mechanisms to address or resolve issues facing women in sport, need for an international politicized approach to women's sport, which would help to transform the structures and practices of sport and improve the quality of women's experience and place women's sports within a broader context of women's life. Since WS was founded, there has been much progress to women in sport. But these points are still very relevant. Girls and women are discriminated against in sport. Gender inequality exists in relation to economy, for example, salaries and prize money, the number of women active in competitive sport and in leadership and coaching positions, and in media representation. Girls and women in sport also experience more harassment and abuse connected to sport than boys and men. WSI was established to both an issue-oriented and an action-oriented organization. In the words of Carol Oglesby, the organization uses both cooperative advocacy and assertive advocacy. Celia Breckenridge wrote in 1998 that, I quote, WSI draws support from any government agency or individual who subscribes to its aims and objectives. In so doing, it shares many of its basic values with other agencies working for women's sport. However, crucial, WSI is demarcated by its transformative approach to women's sport. In other words, works towards positive change, lobbying, and where appropriate, challenging the status quo. WSI advocates the view that sport is a basic human right for females. In the first 3 years of its existence, WSI set up a number of task forces to address important issues such as physical activity and girls' and women's health, the female athlete triad, which was joined with IOC, master athletes, gender verification, and sexual harassment in sport. Some task forces have completed their tasks and others have been established as issues of concern have arisen. WSI was represented in the 95 at the first United Nations World Conference on Women in Beijing, which for the first time adopted a set of resolutions about women's health, sport and physical activity level. Since then, WSI has been involved in and worked with many international organizations. From 1994, WSI has had a permanent seat in the core board of the International Working Group on Women and Sport and been very active in their global conference on women and sport, which takes place every 4th year. Since 1999, we have been member of the umbrella organization International Council for Sports Science and Physical Education, and been active on their board of associations and development committee. In 2011, we achieved consultative status in the UN, the Economic and Social Council. Besides Women's Sports Foundation USA, WSI is the only organization working with sport that has achieved such a status. And with Women's Sport Foundation and other organizations, we have arranged a seminar every year at the UN Committee for the Status of Women annual conference in New York. In 2016, WSI became consultative member of the Intergovernmental Committee for Physical Education and Sport. This is a permanent consultative council of United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. WSI had an active role in the revision of UNESCO's International Charter for Physical Education, Physical Activity and Sport in 2015, and takes an active role now in the implementation of Action 2 and 4 of the Kazan Action Plan. And in 2016, we signed a memorandum of agreement with the American College of Sports Medicine and has arranged symposia with them in connection with their annual meeting. Thank you.